he's medayik and Tosis. The Tosis doesn't is the cash.
Nosni v'omroi lavi kiddushi. Nosni v'omroi is asukin. But Tosis didn't say.
That's the person in the heart seal. Gmail.com. Benny Torok.
So that says is that that's what says. The Tiger Tosis said that Nosni v'omroi. It's not like psikele, but Nosni v'omroi is psikele. It means that what? That the fact is Nosni v'omroi, even though he's on Choshu, and he spoke before, but not now. It's not on Choshu, it's not in the scene. That's what she, because he didn't relate, because he didn't say that he's doing what she said. He didn't mekabel also. Therefore, it's not in the scene. That's choices. And he brought the Rashba, the Ravid. No, Ravid says, Nosni v'omaru is like psikele to be mekudesh. Smash van Nosni v'omroi balo avad choshuv is mekudesh, enu mekudesh gemura. And by Odom choshuv, by Nosni v'omroi Odom choshuv, even though medaber before, is not mekudesh, is not mekudesh, is enu mekudesh gemura, is vana enu mekudesh gemura. But could be a suffix. Since he had the gemura, that's the way what he says. Okay. Yeah.
Think you can make the volume louder?
Yeah, in a second.
Okay.
Oh. Okay. Want to use that in the milim himself, Rabbi Yosef Chaim? Yes, so we saw the Shulchan. Yes.
Is ever mentioned any a person makes blood oath?
What is blood oath?
That means he makes oath on his own blood.
What means like a sign? You were saying the word Hebrew oath?
No.
Oath is English or Hebrew?
No. English. Blood oath. That means he draw us a little blood. He says, I make an oath on my blood. Oath. Like oath.
Oath, an oath, yes. Like a swear?
Yes, a swear.
Blood oath. Okay, good. Oath.
Ever mentioned in anywhere?
There is a Hashem made shvur bedam. There is a Hashem shvur.
Yeah, but I know that.
Yeah, the Torah has mentioned, yes. Some show that the oath is real, like blood.
Yes.
Yes. Also, Hashem is nishba. There's different gzeiras. There's gzeira of shvur, of betit, bedam. Shalom aleichem. אתה אדם שכותב ספרים?
כן, עורך. צריך שיהיה בחומר, ואז אני מסדר את זה יותר שהם... טוב, ברור. עכשיו יפה. אז אני... האדריכים כתבו את השיעור שלי. אני חושב שיש שיעור שלי. על מה למדנו באמצע? למדנו הרבה דזור. הרבה דזור. כן. כל מיני זה, וכתבו את זה, כתבו את זה, אבל כמה מהערה, ולא בכתיבה, השאלה, מה העבודה שצריכה? לסדר שיהיה יותר ברור? יותר ברור, שכתוב ברור,
בלי טעויות כתיבים. שיהיה מסודר יפה, הפרשה. קטעים מסודרים יפה.
מה, כל קטע לחלק קטעים לכותרות?
זה יותר ברור, לפעמים האברך כותב, אתה יודע, שהוא מתוך מסוגיה, מבינים אותו.
זהו, כי אני לא יכול להיות נביא לפנים, זה קושי לדעת, מה בן אדם מתכוון, אם זה...
ועושים את הלא ברור לך, אתה כותב,
בכל רע, אפשר לעשות אותו בהערה בצד שלא מובן, צריך להבין מה, להסביר מה... אפשר אולי, נעשה ניסיון, אתה רואה שיעור מסוים.
כמה אתה לוקח לשם בעמוד, במילים, אותיות,
זה לא שעות, זה לא שעות.
מה השם שלך? קודם כל מה המספר שלך?
052 765 8474 474.
השם שלך?
הלל גוטסמן. מה קרה?
גוטסמן?
כן.
סבא שלך?
היה לי סבא שנפטר לפני 4 שנים. מה? איזה גוטסמן? אברהם גוטסמן?
יוסי גוטסמן. כל המשפחה של גוטסמן גרים בהצלבות קשות.
רמב"ם? קוראים לו אברהם גוטסמן. הוא דוד שלי.
הוא דוד שלך.
כן, הוא דוד שלי. דוד שלי. אז אני חושב שאני...
כל הבנים של החברים.
מה? כן?
כל הבנים של החברים.
כן?
יוסי גוטסמן.
אני לא חברות פה. כי יש לו כבר נינים. יש לו כבר...
לא, לעבור גוטסמן.
כן, זה שפי. יש הרבה מאוד משפחה, אני כבר לא יכול לעשות בכל הנינים של זה.
אבל הרבה מהדודים שלך נביא.
יפה. אולי מתקדש שנעשה ניסיון, נראה אם זה מתאים לרב וזה מתאים לי, שאם זה באמת, מה שנקרא, מספק את הסחורה.
איפה אתה למדת?
באתי בבשמאל השלי.
אוקיי.
זה שיעור שצריך בו עבודה יותר.
איך אני אשלח לך את זה? יש לך אימייל?
באמת, עכשיו, באמת.
מה האימייל שלך?
A 052
A גדול או קטן?
קטן.
A קטן,
052 765 765 8474. נראה לי קטן, אני אומר, לא אותו דבר במייל, אתה נשלח אותו דבר? כן, אני יודע שאתה כמו... כן.
זה כמו ככה,
כן, כזה. לא.
ככה? כזה?
לא, כזה. לא. שנייה, כזה, כן, אני יודע.
כמו שטודל.
כן, באמת. אז אולי נעשה ככה שיעור אחד הרב שלך, ומשהו שצריך ביור, ונראה את הפינוי. ונראה, זה מתאים.
כמה אתה לוקח לשעה?
ככה.
תמשיך לשעה.
Okay, so let's see. Okay, so let's go back to the Shulchan Aruch, what the Bishmuel said, and then we're going to see the Birkat Abnimim. We'll see if Hashem gives a koyach. They'll learn the whole other Biluim. So we have Nosnoi v'omroi einu mekudeshes. Comes the Bishmuel and says, Nosnoi v'omroi Odom Choshuv v'diberim v'kidushim mekudeshes vada. But the Toisves and the Prisha doesn't say so. This is what the Bishmuel said. I'm reading now a quote of the Bishmuel. Nosnoi lo ikesev v'omroi Kaza Rishul afilu medabrim iskei kiddushi. David Nosni v'omaru v'odam choshu, am kenosanu. He says Nosni v'omru la v'kiddushi. But if Nosni v'omru is odam choshu, and v'omaru lifnechen medabrim as kiddushim is Nosanu v'omaru. Umi u'bateiz v'sugi lo imash maken.
You can say English?
Yes. If she gave and she spoke, Eina Mekudeshes. But if she gave and she spoke in his Odom Choshu, and he spoke before, and they were busy in Niski Kiddushin. So the Beis Shmuel says will be Valei Mekudeshes. Toises, he says, but he quotes Toises, and our Sugya is not Mashmasal. It's not Mekudeshes, and also the Precious and Mekudeshes. If you want, I have papers. Yeah, good. And now he quotes Davli Miluim. It's in page Bet in Slavot Kashitz. And we're learning the Zelashon Aprish. What's the Prish? I have two more here. Give it out to me. The original sheets, the famous Avnei Miluim, very important Avnei Miluim. We in the Diaspora Yeshiva on side, on page with bit. Some jokes you're gonna need to have. Give it. The Zelashon Aprish. Nosno lo yi v'omro hi. So we have her giving and her saying. Nosno lo hi v'omro hi. She gave. By the way, people have to know when we read the Megillah. 603, very good. 603. We cannot bang. Normally we allowed to bang, but now we have a moitzah tzoyim. Can't have banging. Can have people banging when they're hungry.
Usually we back.
My granddaughter asked me, there won't be banging. I said, probably they'll be banging anyway.
It's true. I will allow them to bang only when it says Homon ben Agogo, ben Ogo Agagi, ben Amdoso. When they say his full name, it'll be less, and I only lend 10 seconds. It'll be maybe 10 of them, and then 10 seconds. It'll be 10, 100 seconds. 2 minutes, excellent. Yes. Right. I remember when I was a young boy, I was sitting on this stair. It was a little bit sticking out from the ground, was lower. It was just like a step here. I was sitting here, and I had like a piece of metal with a hole, and I put some stuff in. I made big noise, and Zahavi, you remember Rabbi Zahavi, 120. He came and he was really nervous on this. He says, "Where's you benodam lechaveri?" You know, it struck me. I remember till today, and I stopped banging. He said he's right. I don't know if that day was a fast day, was a Purim with fast day or not. Maybe the banging here irritated. Is he right? Then their world. Can't talk about little kids. That's the whole Purim. Okay. V'zelash, yes. Okay. Siyata d'shmai. Nosno lo hi v'omohi. So you have her giving and her speaking. Even though the husband, the receiver is odom choshuv, eino mekudeshes. And the Beis Shmuel even added more. Even if you have medaber before, odom choshuv medaber before, plus medaber before, two benefits, no good. Here we talk about nosno yivom rohi, and odom choshuv, so the worst, the most, the best should be nosanu vom rohi. He says no, eino mekudeshes, not even a suffix. The positive mashma, he will mekadesh her, not she herself.
One question.
Yes.
There's a difference between shakasa and mashma. Is that
It's not a yitur loshon. Mashmos. That's all. We had the pnei says Kicha therefore is not a limud. It's a mashmos. It's a gzera shove mashmos. So Kicha means kesef is gzera shove. A Kicha chishisho that the Kicha has to be through the ish. Mashmos. It tells us Kicha chishisho. It's a yitur. Or it's the mashmos that the man needs to take a woman. That's what it says in the puzzle. That's what he says, the mashma, I think. Shakosum mashma shuikad shoyzon yikad leizatz. Now, can only learn is dafka. English is dafka. Most mashmos.
What's an E2?
What?
What you said? Eat. What's E2? You said eat mashma'uz.
Yika chishisha. The mashmaud, the understanding is that he needs to take her. Yito. Yito means first superfluous, extra. Not an extra word.
Okay.
Yito. Sorry, that's what he's saying. Okay. The time of the milsa. The reason of the thing is, Ein Mevur has not been explained. As I don't understand the Prisha. Why Nosno Ivom Roin is on the Why is that a suffix? Ein Mevur gave on them Choshu. Avale Kenosanu is like he gave. Im Kelev a suffix Kiddush will be a suffix Kiddushi. Kemo Benosanu Vom Roin like he gave and she spoke. Also, he Odom Choshu he gave and she spoke. So now, and more than that, we saw Rashi. Rashi in Daf Zayin says, what is Odom Choshu? Odom Choshu, Rashi says, She'eino rogi lekabel matonos. It's not custom to receive matonos. So the fact is not custom, not receiving, that itself is the sinas ano. But, bu besefer atzmos Yosef roisi shekosa. V'yeh shlach koin. Comes out with Yosef, he says, as a hakira. When she gave and she spoke Bodam Choshuv, Mayave, is it in the Sina of him, in Omroi, which is a suffix, or is not even the Sina? Na Seichel Mechayev, in the Sina, so Lodam Choshuv, Hashiv, Kenosanu. Me made the Baskin the Sveke. That's a simple understanding. But there's a problem with this. If that's true, you cannot mekayim the safe of the Tosefta. The Achbaraisa nosno yivom roi. Elo bodom sheinu choshu bedavka. Because if it's nosno yivom bodom choshu, it just is a suffix. V'im din ze emes that nosno yivom roi bodom choshu, it's a suffix. Divra toises tmuim. This all does that with Yosef. Do milsa the sefer nami ayri be milsa lo psika. What does it mean milsa de lo psika?
Sometimes yes, sometimes no. No diuk.
Opposite diuk is when you have a diuk from the Reisha. And you go to the sefer, opposite diukim. So when I say milsa de lo psika means that you can mayashiv the stira. Why? Because the Reisha nosanu v'omahu is mashma, but nosanu hi v'omahu lo ave kiddushin. It's in the case ein odam choshu. But the Sefer says nosanu hi v'omahu hi, but nosanu hi v'omahu ave kiddushin. It's the case of odam choshu. That's the way to say misad lo psikin. That's what he says. V'im din ze emes. If this law is true, that nosni v'omohi, only bodom shel choshuv ave lo ave kiddushim. By odom choshuv, it's a suffix. V'im din ze emes, divra toises tmuim. Do milsa the sefer nami ayir b'mitzah lepsika. Also the sefer, you can also answer the sefer. Now what? Reisha says nosanu v'omahu ave kiddushim, nosnohi v'omahu.
She said both things.
I understand. Nos, without a diuk, stop. Nos naiv omroi la v'kiddushin. Is it final? Always? Not true. Odom choshu should be someone mikudeshes. V'nireli v'chulei. אלא דווקא כשדיבור הוא לא נוסני ואומרי אדם חשוב והוא מדבר before or now to וקיים דבוריה and he establishing her words דאשת יקורוי בעיניו. It's not just אדם חשוב that he received and he has a relationship with her. He relates to her. He speaks to her. נוסני ואומרי ויוסו אומר Adam Choshuv, that he relates to her in his Mekayim words. So then so then she says he's Adam Choshuv that wants me, that cares about me, that listens to my words. So Adam Choshuv that relates to me, he's giving me ano. Aval bekabalosa lechud belo amirosoi. Mekayim dvorel. Spoke to him Mekayim dvorel. Aval bekabalosa lechud. What happened with my brother Reb Shlomo told me? What it says is, wow, thank you. No, Mekayim dvorel. That's what he says. Diberu lo v'kiyim dvorel. That's not giving her chashivus. Relating and value her wish, fulfilling her wish. Aval bekabalosa lechud beli amirosa lo. Just receiving it without talking to her. Ein on nechshav kenosa nuklal. Rashi says, what is Adam Choshuv? Shein orogil lekabel matonos. Mashma that if he's mekabel matono, it's a big thing. That's what Yosef says no. It's not enough that he's a mekabel. He has to mekabel. You have to speak to relate to mekayim what she wants, her wish. Yes. Married people. It's not enough that you're a Talmid Chacham. And you're Choshuv and she serves you as a Talmid Chacham. You have to relate to her. Speak to her. Mekayim her dvorel. Yekora be'eino. Ma yaseh la'ish asher hamelech chovetz b'ikoroi. Yikchu lo sus asher ba hamelech. Right? Yekora be'eino. אבל בקבלו סלחוד בלי אמירו סולו אינו נחשב ונוסענו כלל. ולפי זה, דין עד הסייפו... What?
You could translate it, say, yeah.
That's what Yosef says. That when Adam Choshuv, an important person, his receiving, considering giving anor to the woman, only when he receives and he speaks, and he's mekayim her wish, her words. So only when Adam Choshuv receives and he speaks, and she spoke before, and he's mekayim her words, then it works. Very big chiddush I'm going to tell you now. What happened if it's nos nohi, and he's Adam Choshuv, v'homaru will be the law. Adam Choshuv v'homar. But she was silent. So we saw the Rashba says, the Ramon brought the Rashba, that the fact that he receives and he speaks for the sake that he wants to marry her with this anor, that he's giving her, they're receiving the money, and she was silent means she agreed that that's her wish. So it could be that he doesn't argue with that. He agreed. Although when you read the simple explanation, he says when Adam Choshuv is considered his Kabbalah and the Sina, when he speaks to her and he was mekayim her words, that she's important in his eyes. But when she gives and he is Adam Choshuv and he just speaks and he doesn't and she didn't express her will, who says that she's a Korah Be'einav? It's in his eyes. Which Yekora Be'einav, and what ways she's Yekora? The answer is the fact she was silent, as the Rashba says, means she wants it. And he's mekayim her wish, so he made and simultaneously is considered a sin. But Kabbalos Lichud means Nosnoi in his Adam Choshuv. Kabbalos or Nosno ve'omro in his Adam Choshuv, but he didn't speak anything, so then it's nothing. Ein onechshav kenosanu klal. Lefi ze dina de sefer. According to this Nosni v'omroi, umilza de psika. Afil Adam Choshuv. Why? Because Adam Choshuv without talking, she gave and spoke, but he didn't speak at all. Adam Choshuv without speaking is nothing. Just receiving. V'chen nireli. So that is mechadish two inyonim. Nosnoi v'omru. Sorry, Nosnoi v'omrohi. She gave and she spoke. And his Adam Choshuv is an important person. But he didn't speak. It's nothing. It's not giving. Same thing is Nosnoi and Kipel Hu Adam Choshuv. It's nothing. Why? Since he didn't speak, we have Nosnoi v'omroi and Adam Choshuv is nothing. And surely Nosnoi and Lo Amro and Elohim Omar. Not who, not him, not her. It's not no good. Because Adam Choshuv receiving is considered a sinner only when he speaks. When she speaks, and there's a Kabbalah without him speaking, big Chiddush, he's not Mekayim words, there's nothing. Speaks yes, as we know. Now we say more than that. Kal v'chomer. When she gave and not speak, and he received and not speaking, definitely is not good. Even if he spoke, sorry. Her giving, not speaking, and he's not speaking, is equal to her giving and speaking, and he's not speaking. Both of them is Kabbalah alone is nothing. But when he speaks, then if she gave and spoke and he spoke, his Adam Choshuv definitely works. If she gave and didn't speak, and he's Adam Choshuv and he spoke, the Rash was mechadesh, and her shtik is like her wish, and therefore is the sin of Adam Choshuv. The Rash bo in tshuva. Okay. Vezeu kavonas beishmuel. Comes the Avnei Miluim, says this is what the Beishmuel meant to say. The Masha kosu bateis besugya. The basugya lo mashma came. The Masha kosu, I'm sorry. But teis besugya lo mashma came. The Beishmuel says nosni v'omrohi in his Adam Choshuv. Right? Nosni v'omrohi in his Adam Choshuv is nothing. If he didn't speak, he says in Tois is not mashma so. Why? V'aynu with the kosu bateis. Why the Gemara didn't mention at all? She gave and she spoke. Sorry, she gave and he spoke. Why the Gemara didn't speak about a case where she gave and he spoke? Only he gave and she spoke. What about her giving and him speaking? Why the Gemara didn't talk about this doubt? The loy psikale. It's not a cut case. For me, sometimes she's mekudesh about them choshu. Umashma. So he may like an answer the stira. Reisha nosanu v'omroi mekudeshes, but nosni v'omaru einu mekudeshes ba'in adam choshu. Seife. Nosni v'omroi lo mekudeshes, but nosni v'omaru mekudeshes ba'in adam choshu. We have an answer to the stira. So since like psikale, we cannot medayik it. Umashma miteis. The Beseifer, but Nosni v'omroi afilu choshu lo imani. But the Seifer, it's a cut case. Nosni is mashav amtoises. The middle case has two options. Therefore, I can answer the stira. But the Seifer or the Reish is a cut law. Mashav is Seifer, it's a cut law. Nosni v'omroi always say the kudeshes afilu b'olam choshu lo imani. Why? It's in the Sina. He didn't talk. He wasn't machshiv her words. He wasn't machshiv her rotzon. Miu a Rashba bechidush of kosa zelashoyno. According to the Rashba, he says not hecher. There's no hecher. According to the Rashba, could be that Kabbalah of Adam Choshuv, even without speaking, is still considered a sinner. How do we see it from the Rashba? Zelashoyno. The Imtoime has the same kasha of Toisves. Veleidu kmino nosni v'omaru. Why the Gemara only spoke about a diuk between Resh and Seifa of him giving and her speaking? Why we don't have a diuk, her giving and him speaking too? Also should be opposite diuk from Resh and Seifa. That he gave and he spoke, good. But when she gives and he speaks, no good, the Seifa. Her giving and her speaking, no good. But her giving and him speaking, be good. So we have a stira. Why the Gemara speak about her giving and speaking, only about him giving and her speaking? That's the Ravid, that's the Rashba's kasha, like Toyson's kasha. And he answers. V'tiretz Ravid. The Ravid answered. This case of Nosnahi V'omaru is not a cut law. Why? Because by Adam Choshuv should be Vadai Mekudeshes. Kedis lekamon v'chemates Rabbeinu Atzarfati. Now the Adam Eliz Medaik, why he says Mekudeshes Gemura? He says Nos Naiv Omaru Ein Adam Choshuv v'zeinu Mekudeshes. Adam Choshuv be Mekudeshes Gemura. Why you had the word Mekudeshes Gemura? Oh, Benire Midvora. No. Yes. Because those who hold, not like that, that Kabbalah Sodom Choshuv alone is in the Sina. So then, even Nosni V'omrohi will be a suffix. What? Right. And the Rashba says not suffix. Neither mitvor. Let's see what he says. 1 second. What case are you talking about? Yes. Yes. She gave and she spoke, and he was on them choshu. She gave and he spoke, and he's on them choshu mekudeshes gemura. Yeah, but why has to say gemura? Kudeshes. Venire mitvor. Let's see. Venire mitvor. The mishum ochile psikele. Why? By nosli vomaru. By the choshu is not psikele. The ikodom choshu davar mekudeshes gemura. The eine kidushe vadai. Aval. Nosli only there will be Mekudeshes Gemura. About the Seifa, about Nosli V'omroi, the Mekudeshes Gemura Valai Lo Yave. Nosli V'omaru, Anodom Choshu, Mekudeshes Gemura. But Nosli V'omru, even Odom Choshu, Mekudeshes Gemura Valai Lo Yave. Af agav the Sfeik in the Rabbanon Israel. That's why he still can say by Odom Shenachoshu.
In English?
Yes. He wants to say that by the Rashba adding the word Mekudeshes Gemura, bypass the logic of Tosfos. According to that's Yosef. Then what? Only Nosanu V'omrohi, he gave and she spoke. Only there we have a doubt. But Nosnohi, she gave. V'omaru is not always a doubt. Sometimes it's Mekudeshes Gemura. Ba'odom Chosh Mekudeshes Gemura. Why you had the word Mekudeshes Gemura? To tell you that the Seifa, Nosnohi, V'omrohi, is mashma. There has to be a set law. I make a deal. Less than that, only Nosanu V'omrohi, will be not. And the Gemara says it now. Nosnai V'omrohi will be Vadai, but Nosanu V'omrohi will be a suffix. How do we answer the stira? between the two diukim by saying, we talk about the vadai cases, that's fakes, right? Now, comes Tyson and says, why the Gemara didn't speak about Nosnohi, Vomaru, she gave and she spoke, there'll be a suffix. That's a case of a suffix, and I answer the steer by through a suffix, because it's not true. Sometimes there's Vada in the Mekudeshes. What? Va'odam choshu is Vadai. Va'odam choshu be Vadai Mekudeshes. That's the Raven. So therefore, what does he gain? So if the Gemara answers the Reish and the Sefer is Vadai, the Metzias and also the middle case that he gave and she spoke, it's a doubt. Bashma, that the Sefer, it's a Vadai statement. Nosno Ivomroi is Vadai in the Mekudeshes. Even if Adam Choshu. Not true. Adam Choshu should be a suffix. It's true. Even though it's a suffix, but it's Vadai in the Mekudeshes. I don't have a Vadai in the Mekudeshes. Nosno Ivomroi, it's or Vadai in the Mekudeshes, or Vadai in the Mekudeshes, but it could be a suffix. But it's a true statement. In the Mekudeshes Vadai. Or because not even a suffix, or in the Mekudesh Vadai, it could be a suffix. But that statement is a Vadai statement. Therefore, could be that Nosli Vomaru Badochosh will be a suffix still. But why still could be a true Vadai statement? Why it's a case of Psikale? Because I need the Reish to be Psikale, and I need the last case to be Psikale. But in the middle case is a suffix. So why the last case is a Psikale case? If I hold Nosli Vomroi Baodam Choshuv, it's a suffix Mekudeshes. Why it's Psikale? It's Psikale that is Vadai Eina Mekudeshes. Vadai Eina Mekudeshes. What is it? Could be suffix. When I say it's Vadai Eina Mekudeshes, it's not Vadai Eina Mekudeshes. But if it's a suffix, still it's not Vadai Eina Mekudeshes. Yes. Again, according to the Atzmos Yosef, the way he learns the Torah, according to Tosfos is saying that Nosanu v'omaru is Vadai Mekudeshes. Nosnoi v'omrui, it's Vadai Eina Mekudeshes, even if it's Adam Choshu. Nosnoi v'omrui, Vadai Eina Mekudeshes. Even if it's Adam Choshu, because he didn't speak. Yes. It is psika, it's cut law. Nosanu v'omaru Vadai Mekudeshes, Nosli v'omaru Vadai Eina Mekudeshes, Nosanu v'omaru is a suffix. Why did he talk about Nosli v'omaru? Because not always a suffix, sometimes a Vadai. So therefore, in this case of Vadai, should be written in one of the cases, up or down, not the middle. Because in the middle case of Nosli v'omaru, some cases of Vadai Mekudeshes of Nosli v'omaru and Adam Choshu. That's the way the Atzmos Yosef said. Pshat and Tosfos. Nosanu v'omaru, he spoke and he gave. No, but before that, you have to understand the logic. The logic of the Gemara is we have two Vadai statements. In the middle case is you have opposite diukim, so you have to say it's a suffix. So why the Mishnah didn't read it in the middle case, which we have opposite diukim? Because it's a suffix case. And the Bryce only wrote Vadai cases. That's the second answer of the Gemara. In logic. One second before. First of all, what the Gemara is saying. The Gemara is saying, Averesha nosanu v'omaru, he gave and he spoke, Mekudeshes. And I have a sefer, nosnu v'omaru in Mekudeshes. I have opposite diukim. Only him speaking, him talking, Vadai, but not fully him talking and giving suffix. Will be Vadai Eina in the diuk. And the sefer, her giving and her speaking is Vadai Eina, but less than that will be Mekudeshes. We have an opposite diukim. Gemara answers. No. You know why we not a problem, because the Braisa is not only talking about Vadai, but psikically. A thing which is not we're not talking about. And no sanu v'omroi, it's a suffix. But no sanu v'omroi is a suffix. We enter the stira. But no san, no snohi, omaru can be a suffix too, like the bahag. But in the case of Adam Choshu, Ubivana Mekudeshes ben nos nohi v'omaru. Because it's Omar and also Adam Choshu, it's also Nosan. And there will be Vana Mekudeshes. So since nos nohi v'omaru is not always suffix, the more you speak about it. Because I can answer the stira. I can say the Sefer, the Reish is telling me Adam Choshu. Sorry, the Sefer. That's the opposite. Sefer is telling me Adam Choshu, not saying Omaru, but Adam Choshu Bekudeshes. And the Reisha is no he Omaru, Bein Adam Choshu, which is a suffix. Therefore, the Gemara didn't speak about this case because it's not a cut case that is always a suffix. If it's always a suffix or always the same law, we have a kasha or we insist they want to speak about tzvekas. But if it's not a cut case, we can talk about it. Comes down to Messiah, it's medayik. Mashma, that nosni v'omroim, which is a safe, it's a vadai case. It's always Eina Mekudeshes. Even B'odam Choshu. Why? Because he didn't speak. If it's nosni v'omroim and Odam Choshu and the husband didn't speak, it's nothing. Right? Because he didn't relate to her. He didn't relate to her as Eina Mekudeshes. But what would it be? Nosni v'omroi by Odam Choshu. Nothing doesn't change the halacha. This is the way Toysa is learned. But the Rebbe is saying no. The Rebbe is saying, because he says Machloikes Toysves and Rashba. What change in logic between Toys and the Rashba? Is this Mekudesh's Gemara? I know that. But how we come up? Why? Listen, I understand what you're saying. Right. And why the Ravid is not bothered? That is not seeking. Because the point of the Braisa is this is language. The Mekudesh's Gemara Vaday Lo Ave. Reisha is Mekudesh's Gemara. Seifa Mekudesh's Gemara Vaday Lo Ave. It's Mekudesh's Gemara for sure not Mekudesh's Gemara. But it could be still suffix. Nos Lehi V'omrohi Vaday Lo Ave. She's not Mekudesh's. She ain't a Mekudesh's Gemara. That's a Vaday. She's not Mekudesh's. It's Vaday. I don't have Vaday Mekudesh's. It could be still a suffix. By Odom Choshu. Because it would be Nosanu V'omroi. So he did it, the Rashba is arguing on, so he says, when Odom Choshu receives money and doesn't speak, is considered Nesina or not. According to the Rashba, it's Nesina. According to Toys, let's see it inside. I read in the last paragraph in the page. Venira midvorov. The mishum ochilo psikale. I nos no he. Lo psikale. The ikodam choshuv. Not because Odom Choshu is Kodesh's Gemura. I'm searching the Reishas of Kodesh's Gemura, no son of Amaru. Take the Kodesh's. No son of Amaru, Kodesh's Gemura. But also something like that, but it's not our subject. Our subject is you have two opposite statements. No son of Amaru, Kodesh's Gemura. So what about Nos Nohi Vomaru? Ikodom Choshu, Dam Kodeshas Gemara. So it's not always a suffix. Kiddush Vadai. Kodesh Gemara means Kiddush Vadai. Aval Nos Nohi Vomahi. The Kodeshas Gemara Vanalai always. Even Bodom Choshu. Afalgav the fake the Rabban Israel. Shapi. Still, Psikele Misnei, Bodom Shel Choshu Kodeshas Klal. Umishum Nikon Choshu, the Avasom Kodesh Rabban doesn't change. Because it's still Kalim Kodeshas Gemara. Ganamon Choshu. Shapi Psikele Achdina She'enam Kodeshas Klal. Is Nam Kodeshas Gemara Vadai. Bodom Shel Choshu. So really, when I say Nosno Iva Mo'i, and by Odom Choshev didn't change it. Because two, it's not Vanei Mikuleshes. It's a suffix. But by Nosnoi Vomahu, by Odom Choshev, Nosnoi Vomahu, yes, will be a suffix. Because he spoke. So be a suffix, right? So why Nosno Ivam, we spoke about it, even though when is Odom Choshev is a suffix, and we didn't speak about Nosno Hi Odom Choshev, it's a suffix. The answer is Ubi Vanei Kodeshas Gemara, because he spoke. Nosno Ivam when he's Odom Choshev Ubi Kodeshas Gemara. So why? Because he spoke and gave. In his Odom Choshev is not Gemara, it's to be a suffix, because it doesn't break the Einem Kodeshas Gemara. That's very simple. Again, the Ravid says why we didn't speak about Nosno Hi, that when she gave and he spoke, why we didn't speak about it? Because I have a case that will be Kodeshas Gemara. Because he spoke, she gave and he spoke, and he also Odom Choshev, so he gave. So he gave and he speaks, although she gave but she gave and he spoke, and his Odom Choshev is also giving. So you have giving and speaking, so we Kodeshas Gemara. So we can't talk about the middle case of Kodeshas Gemara. Because if I have a case of Kodeshas Gemara, which is the middle case, there's a steam with Reish L'Seifa. Only Nosanu V'Amaru Vadai, only Nosno Ivamu Vadai not. But Nosno Ivamu, it's a suffix, but it will be also Vadai. One of the ways, Einem Kodeshes, or Vadai Mikodesh, because Odom Choshev and Omar. So then we still have a problem sticking in the Yukim, right? That's the way the Raven answers. Mashenken Toys, they hold that the reason why we're not talking about Nosni Vomahu, because Odom Choshev is Mikodeshes, is not because it will be a Vadai state. That's the point. It's not a cut law, because sometimes Einem Kodeshes, sometimes it's Kodeshes. But which means I'm not talking about Nosli Vomaru as a suffix, because it's not always a suffix. But according to the I'm not talking about Nosli Vomaru, not because it's not always a suffix, because sometimes it's Vadai Kodeshes.
It's fading.
And it doesn't fit. I only had two statements of Vadai. The third statement of Vadai. So it cannot be part of the price as the Yukim. It says out. Again, this is what he says. And Mimele, but Nosnoi V'Omroi, I Mekayim a Vadai statement. I don't have a Kiddushei Vadai Klal. Odom Choshev can make it a suffix, but suffix doesn't change, and it's not Vadai Kiddushes. So I have Nosni V'Omroi is always Vadai, Einu Mekudeshes Vadai. And Nosanu Vomroi is always Mekudeshes Vadai. By Nosnu Vomroi, by Odom Choshuv is a suffix, but a suffix doesn't make it Kiddush Vadai. And I don't have Kiddush Vadai by the safe. Only Reish is Kiddush Vadai. Nosnu Vomroi is not Kiddush Vadai ever. Even Odom Choshuv is not Kiddush Vadai. What about Nosnu Vomroi? If it's Odom Choshuv, will be Mekudeshes Vadai. So the Mele can be a true statement. So you cannot talk about it. You cannot talk about Nosli Vomaru as a diuk because I still can have a case that is a vadai. Mekudeshes Gemura. So since it's Mekudeshes Gemura, I'll explain. I'll make it easier. I understand. I'll make a hakira. What is pshat and toises? Okay, I'll make it. Toises kashu was why don't we speak about nosnohi v'omaru? Why don't we speak about deal? I have two ways to answer. One is because is not clear case because I cannot have a diuk from Reish in one way and diuk from Sefer another way. When I know in a certain case by Nos Nohi Vomaru is out of the diukim, I know Vada is Mekudeshes. One way to read it. Or since is the sins by Nos Nohi Vomaru, I have two cases. I have a case of Stam Enom Shenem Choshu V'Enom Choshu. So if I can metar it's a stira. I can say safe as medayek that Odom Choshu Nosli Vomaru Odom Choshu Mekudeshes. And Reisha Nosanu Vomaru is medayek that Nosli Vomaru be Mekudeshes. That's second way to read those. Mekudeshes is only psikile. What is the answer? The answer is so the Gemara didn't speak about this deal because I can answer the stira and say both diukim are true. That's what it means. Or since it's not a cut law, I'm not talking about uncut law. The Gemara is only talking about cases which is cut. The suffix is clear. But cases where the suffix is not clear because I have a case of Nosli Vomaru Bodom Choshus V'Alei Mekudeshes. So some cases which is since it's not a cut law, I'm not talking about it. It's out of my picture. Out of my diuki. I'm talking about something which is easy. Remember, exercises to remember have to be easy. Case is Nosan V'Omar Mekudeshes, Nosan V'Omro. Ain't Mekudeshes? Nosan V'Omar. You have a stira and it'll be sofik. But unclear case, we're not talking about loipsikili means since loipsik is not always cut. Yes. That would be the difference between the two pshotim. Exactly the difference. If the point is, when Toisa is loipsikili, what it means that I can answer the stira. That's the way the Ran puts it down. What does loipsikili means? I can answer the stira. What? If he learned like the Ran, let's learn Toisas like the Ran. Then Nosnahi V'Omaru, if she gave and he spoke in his Odom Choshuv, Ubi Vadai Mekudeshes. Right? Nosnahi V'Omroi by Odom Choshuv. Nosnahi V'Omroi in his Odom Choshuv. So if it's a case of a suffix, sorry, if it's a case of a suffix because we turns to Adam Choshu that he gave, and she gave and spoke, but he only gave through Adam Choshu, but he didn't speak. So it's Nosan Uvomroi, which is still falling into the suffix, right? why it's okay to be in suffix. If we talk about loipsikele, what does loipsikele means? I can answer the stira, right? And the rei is medayik one way, and the same with medayik another way. It's not a stira. If the seifa nosni v'omroi is only talking about odom sheino choshu, but odom choshu will be a suffix. What? So then you cannot medayik in the case of nosni v'omaru will be the law. Because nosni v'omaru, there's no diuk anymore. If I have nosni v'omaru, it's only a specific case of odom sheino choshu. But odom choshu will be sovim mikudeshes, will be nosni v'omaru. You're gonna put those two things together. That was just ending on together. No, but I'm saying if you're not saying so, if he's saying that we're not saying that was Yosef. We're saying nosnoi v'omaru by odam choshuv lo ipsikele means because we vara imekudeshes. Again, nosnoi v'omaru in his odam choshuv be vara imekudeshes not because of that Yosef. Not because of that Yosef that he's miyaker her words. Because Odom Choshuv. So I have is Omaru and I have Odom Choshuv. I have two components. I have his Omar and I have his Nesines Vanay Mekudeshes. So according to this, by Nosnoi v'Omroi Eino Mekudeshes, but what will be by Odom Choshuv? Should be a suffix. Because it turns to Nosanu v'Omroi. And then Gemara says by Nosanu v'Omroi is a suffix. So now I have the safest telling me a cut law, which is also not a cut law, because by Odom Choshuv should be a suffix. So I don't have a cut law. I'm saying Reisha is a cut law, Seif is a cut law. To tell you that anything less is not the same. Or is a suffix, or one is teaching me one case, and the one is teaching another case, right? That's what Toys is saying. Toys is saying that nosanu v'omaru, we have a contradiction in the diukim, so you have to say suffix. But nosnahi v'omaru, I don't have to come out as a suffix, because there's a case which is vana mikudeshes. Then I can answer the stira by saying Reisha Nosanu v'omaru mikudeshes, but less than that, Nosanu v'omaru Ein mikudeshes. It's in the case of Odom Sheino Choshu, and the same will be in the case of Odom Choshu. So then, since I know there's one case we vadai psikele, the psikele, since it's not a cut law, since there's a case of Nosno hi v'omaru b'Odom Choshu v'ivada mikudesh because I haven't seen an amira. So bivana mikudeshes. I can answer the stira. So that's why they won't speak about it. But wait a second. What about nosnahi, omroi, and odom choshu? If you can say, still is a true statement. It's a vada ena mikudeshes because in the case of odom choshu, it doesn't change the vada ena mikudeshes. It'll be sofim, is that? But still vada ena mikudeshes. That's the way the Raivan is saying. If that's the case, so I have a case nosnai v'omroi, odom choshu, doesn't destroy the statement of nosnai v'omroi, einu mikudeshes vadai. Because I always have einu mikudesh. I don't have a vadai in mikudeshes. I still have the vadai mikudeshes. Right? So this is very simple. There's two ways to explain Toises, and he understands Toises one way. That's a simple way. And Mimela, the Rashba argues, the Raven is arguing. The Rashba is learning that when I have the Reisha, Nosanu V'Omaru, I'm not saying anything less than that as Amikudeshes. And Nosnoi V'Omaru is less than that, because less, definitely less than Nosanu V'Omaru. Nosanu V'Omaru Mikudeshes. Anything less than that, like Nosnoi V'Omaru, Ain't Mikudeshes Vadai.
Well, that's a swore. That's not true. That's not necessarily true. That's a possibility.
Yeah, I'm talking about in
It's not Vadai.
No, I'm saying that you.
That's only a possibility in Svora. That's not a hekrak.
Nosnohi v'omaru ba'odam choshuv. If it's Vadai Mikudeshes, so then I say, why the Gemara didn't speak about it? Because I can answer the stira, or because it's part of the Reisha. Like basically means I can an Odam Choshuv is part of the statement of the Reisha, or it's part as a truth of the diuk of the Sefer. You cannot be died from the Reisha. Nosanu v'omaru einu mekudeshes. Less than that. Nosanu v'omaru mekudeshes. Less than that, einu mekudeshes. Is that true? I cannot talk about that. I can't make a deal like that, because I know that nosanu v'omaru ba'odam choshuv is vadai mekudeshes, because it's nosan v'omar. So therefore, the way the Raven knocks out why the Gemara didn't die nosanu v'omaru. It's not because I have two cases and if I can answer the Reisha and Sefer. It's not saying that. It's saying the Duke of the Reisha that says Nosanu v'Omaru Mekudeshes less than that is not going to start a true Duke by Nosnu v'Omaru, because Nosnu v'Omaru Adam Chosh will be Vada Mekudeshes. So still I have less than the Reisha. Still like the Reisha. He's not saying I have a way to answer the stira. He's saying the Duke of the Reisha is not a good Duke. It's like saying, you medayik, in such a case, so it's lav dafka nosan v'omar, because even nosan v'omar, Odom choshu, it's still like nosan v'omar, so it's still mekudeches v'adai. So it basically means, why the Gemara in medayik nosan v'omar, because by Odom choshu will still be nosan v'omar. It's still in the Reisha. Yes. That's why I understand the way the Raven is learning. He's learning, let's read the Kash. V'im toima v'leiduk minei nami nosli v'omaru v'tiratz ha'Raven da'ai lo yipsikele. Nosli v'omaru, he cannot be dying from the Reisha that always is less. Dikodam choshuv, da'am kudeshas gmura, will be star of nosan v'omar. Nosan v'omaru. He says, v'nire, mit worden משובח לפסיקלי די קודם חושו יש גמור אבל לקודש ודאי אבל נוס לי ואומרו היא למקודש אז גמור אבל לא so only נוסן ואומר and נוס לי ואומרו sometimes to נוסן ואומר but נוס לי ואומרו היא I don't have מקודש אז גמור אף אגב דספיקה דרבון הניסבי שפר פסיקלי למיסני באודם שלו חושו למקודש אז כלל די קודם חושו זה מקודש דרבון קייבל למקודש אז גמור like the Reisha. Which means I'm saying Nosanu v'Omaru Kudeshes. Less than that, I don't have Kiddush Vadai. Nosnu v'Omaru is Nam Kudeshes Vadai, and even if it's Odom Choshu, which is a suburb, it's still Nam Kudeshes Vadai. I can write it down. Nosanu v'Omaru. Have a problem. Reisha's mashma mekudeshes. Remember mekudeshes.
It's all Sporas. There's no hekrak to that.
When Toysa says like psikele, it's not that I can answer the stira, like the Ran. But the Rashi is not saying like psikele I can answer the stira. He's saying like psikele means I know I cannot medayek nos noiv omaru because I know for sure that in the case of Adam Choshu but nos omari nos noiv omaru, in the case of Adam Choshu it's still like the Reisha. It's still Mekudeshas Gemara. So we didn't talk about it because it's not always out of the diuk of nos. It's not out of the box of nos sanu v'omaru, like nos li v'omaru. Because v'adam choshu is still nos v'omaru. It'll be vaday mikudeshes. What is really saying? That the sefer that says nos li v'omaru vaday ina mikudeshes means I'm only searching for vaday ina mikudeshes, and I don't care it'll be a suffix by adam choshu. It's still the same halacha. Yes. Why? Right. So we're not talking about it. Since we know that sometimes the Vada is through the Reisha, so which is that what wants to exclude. Wants to exclude a case which is out of it for sure. Always is out of the Reisha. Which is it? Nosanu v'omaru. Then we have an opposite deal from the Sefer. Nosanu v'omaru, but what about Nosanu? It's Mekudeshes. We have opposite diukim, and we answer you right. It's a middle case. And the Reisha and the Sefer are opposite diukim. But what is the goal of the Sefer? Because according to Toyses, the goal of the Sefer is to tell you that Nosli v'omroi, it's vaday eina mekudeshes means not a suffix, even vaday not. It's not only suffix kiddushin, it's also vaday. Not only not vaday, which is a suffix, it's also vaday no kiddushin. You're going down from suffix to vaday no. That's the way Tosh is learning. So the Sefer is telling you that Nosli v'omroi is not even a suffix, it's vaday eina mekudeshes. And Reisha, Nosanu v'omaru is vaday mekudeshes. And Nosanu v'omaru is a middle case, we don't have a suffix. That's the way Tosh is learning, right? So we have the Sefer is absolute no, not less than, no means no, and nothing less than no, not even a suffix. And the Reisha is vaday yes, not less than vaday yes. Middle is Sefekis. But according to the Rashi, the Ravid, no. The Reisha is saying Nosanu v'omaru is vaday. Ravid is saying Nosli v'omaru, I don't have a vaday. I don't have the Nosanu v'omaru. It's vaday out of vaday kiddushin. But still can be suffering or no. So we meile. I don't have a diuk of Nosli v'omaru. Would it be about Adam Choshu? Because they will be vaday mikudeshes. So it's still part of the first case. It's still part of the first case of vaday. I'm looking at anything less than that. That's the way I understand this machlokes here. Okay. It's late. It's a tough one because he doesn't explain how each one learns. He just says, according to the Ravid, the Sefer that says that Nosli v'omroi ein mekudeshes is mashma afilu b'odam choshuv is mashma not even a suffix. How do you explain if it's not even a suffix? Nosli v'omroi even on the choshuv will be a suffix. But the Gemara says ein mekudeshes. So it's still you have a case like psikele because he's translating the psikele in a different way. It's psikele that I don't have vaday kiddushin. Even though by Nosni v'omroi in Odom Choshu will be still a suffix like Nosan v'omroi, Nosanu v'omroi.
Satisfying that it is called psikele, and he tries to explain why it is counted as psikele. Shabbat psikele. He says it is psikele. And he calls it psikele.
Saka psikele l'misne v'Odom Shana Choshu. What about Selichoy is not psikale too? Okay, when we're going to just Gemura, the point is Gemura. So he's saying, Reishas nosanu v'amarus mekudeshes Gemura, nosnei v'amro he is Adam Choshu v'stul mekudeshes Gemura. So it's part of the Reisha. And the Sefer is, I don't have mekudeshes Gemura. Adam Choshu be Sofik, but still I don't have mekudeshes Gemura. But according to Taisus, I understood the Sefer is nosnei v'amro. According to Taisus, it's not that I don't have mekudeshes Gemura. It's not even a Sofik Kiddushin. It's not a Sofik, it's Vada Eino Kiddushin. It's a different way he's looking on the statement of Nosni Bamu Eino Kudeshes. Eino means I have a Vada Eino Kudeshes Gemura, or Eino Kudeshes means Eino Kudeshes Bichlam, not Sofik, not Vada. Vada Eino Kudeshes. Kal Vachoymer, not Sofik. She's not Vada Eino Kudeshes, not even a Sofik, even Vada Eino Kudeshes. And he's saying, no, I only have a Vada Eino Kudeshes, but Sofik still can be. So still psikale, still cut. Why the Rashba, the Raivitz, the way he reads Einim Kudeshes means I don't have a Vada Einim Kudeshes more, because his goal in the Sefer is to say less than the Reisha, not opposite the Reisha, less than the Reisha. No Sanu Vomu is Vada Einim Kudeshes Gemura, and Sefer I don't have a Kudeshes Gemura by Nosli Vomu, even it could be Suffolk. What about Nosanu Vomahu? Nosanu Vomoi? You have opposite diukim. Nosnei Vomahu, Omer the Raivot, V'odom Choshu is still part of the Reisha, because V'odom Choshu be valid in Kodesh's Gemura. That's what he says. So from the word Gemura, he understood that the goal of the Sefer is not to tell you Afilu lo Sofek ela Vada elo Megureshes, Ela, I don't have the Reisha of Kodesh's Gemura. You understand what I'm saying? Could be even Seika too, but I don't have Vada elo Megureshes. That's the way the Rashi is learning. The Ravid is learning the goal of the Sefer of Nos Nehi V'Omrohi is to tell me I don't have the Reisha of Kodesh's Gemura. I don't have Vada elo Megureshes Gemura. It could be Suffolk still. I don't care about Tzveikis. I'm looking at Kodesh's Gemura. Nos Anu V'Omaru is Kodesh's Gemura. But Nos Nehi V'Omrohi, I don't have a Kodesh. Einum Kodesh means I don't have a Kodesh's Gemura. It could be still a Suffolk. So why the Gemara didn't speak about according to the Ravid by Nos Nehi V'Omaru? Because by Odom Choshu will be Kodesh's Gemura as part of the Reisha still. But the way Taisus learned that when the Sefer says Nos Nehi V'Omrohi, Einum Kodesh means is nothing. Afilu, not only Sofik Kiddushin don't have, Afilu Kiddushin, it's in Kiddushin Gemurim. I not got even Sofik. So yes, we have a problem. Why it's Sofik? Why? Because that's what Yosef. She didn't speak, she gave it, she spoke, and he's on it's nothing. It's not Nosan even. Come on to that was Yosef. What about the middle case of Nos Nehi V'Omaru? Nos Nehi V'Omaru is Omar, and also Dom Choshu is Mekudeshes. So like psikally means I can answer the steer. That's why I learned Toisus. Which means according to Toisus, like psikally means the Reisha and the Sefer are saying to opposition, 190 degrees. Reisha Mekudeshes Vadai and Sefer. Not only Sofik, even Vada in Mekudeshes. It's nothing. That's the Reish and the Sefer. That's the way Tosh is learning. And Mimele, if I have Nosno Yi V'Omaru B'Odam Choshu, it's Mekudeshes Gemur because he has Dibur, like that's what Yosef. Nosno Yi V'Omru Yi in Odam Choshu, it's nothing because he didn't speak like Yosef. Good. But the way the Ravid is learning that the Reish is Nos Nehi V'Omrohi is to tell me Mekudeshes Gemura. The Sefer is telling me Nos Nehi V'Omrohi I don't have Mekudeshes Gemura. Einu Mekudeshes means I don't have the Mekudeshes Gemura. What about Sofik? Odom Choshu? Good, I can have, but it still doesn't change that Nos Nehi V'Omrohi is a true statement in Psikele because always Einu Mekudeshes Gemura, and that will never change. I by Odom Choshu will be Sofik, but it still didn't change the Mekudeshes Gemura. So although mostly I meant to say, not only Suffolk, not even Kedushin, it's a true statement. Even though it's not always true that by Odom Chosh will be Suffolk, but that other case doesn't change the Inim Kodesh's Gemurah. The main goal of the Seva is to mafkir Inim Kodesh's Gemurah of the Reish. That's the way we learn. Okay. La 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 la. Okay. So he goes back and forth, upon this, but that's his main svara. Then of the Miluim, it's important, it's worth it to see. Talk about a little bit now is Soim Tani says it's late, but I will speak in short. This morning I mentioned a guy walks into yeshiva before davening and he screams. So I thought he was one of the Shiganas. I didn't relate to him, but he's speaking to me and I look in his face. I see he's a normal face. Doesn't wear kippah, but you can see the face, his eyes are jumping. He's talking normal. I asked him, he relates to me normal. So he's asking me, Rabbi, I don't understand. Mishenichnas odor marmin besimcha. So why we fast in Tainis Esther? I told him you're right. Tainis Esther is not a fast of Avelus, not a fast of mourning. It's a fast of Zikoi, to remember the war, to remember the fasting there, and to remember what changed the tshuva that we did, changed the Gzeirot to Gzeirotoim. So only remember, it's not a mourning. It's not a time which is muad lepuron. Normally we have Tisha B'Av, Asman Goyrim, to remember, or like they say, the Beis Hamikdash is not till now, must be we still sins. And why we fast at Tisha B'Av? Because the Man Goyim, that was a time of judgment. And every year we have a new, like the Sam Sofer says, every year when Tisha B'Av comes in, we have again a judgment on build the Beis Hamikdash will be built this year or not, etc. So we fast as a mourning, but now we should nichnas ol marmin besimcha. So if the marmin besimcha, we're not fasting as a mourning and not happy. We can sing, we can sing. We have to have chasam mitzvah. So where's the fasting? The fasting is where our stomach is hungry and our chaylev is being burned. So then whether it's not like a korban and tshuva, is to remind us that what brought the nes is what? What brought the nes was the tshuva we did. We fasted and we pleased Hashem. That made the nes. Remember what the nes is coming in. We eat a nes. Like a person, as I told you the story, one time a guy came into the Western Wall. You see this guy crying. He says, what's going on? Nothing. Why crying? Nothing. Why? I says, come on, you don't cry like this and nothing happened. Nothing happened. And I tell you the truth, I just married off my daughter. She's 38 years old. And I saw hell from her. Anytime she comes home older, this guy's no good for her. I'm going to go to her. She started wearing slits and this and that. And I talked to her hard to be more tznias and more haredi and more this and becoming more smart and this and that. And this boy doesn't good. And I went crazy. I don't know what to do. She doesn't know what to do. She's all crazy. This guy, as older she gets, she's smarter to get. No guy is good for her. Any guy, she gives a punch and throws him out the window. No guy wants to come close to her. She's a tough, strong woman, smart woman, makes a lot of money. She lost her role of being modest and kind and under. Finally, she found the shit. And tonight I married her. So I came to the koisel to cry, to remember those good old days of 18 years that every day I cried for my daughter to get married. I felt the pain and I had the connection to Hashem. Now I want to remind myself, I decided I'm going to come to the place. I'm crying what? I'm not crying from sadness. That I appreciate any gift that Hashem gave me. I want to continue that connection to Hashem in a positive way. And that's what's showing Tainis Esther. It's not a morning fast. It's a reminder. It's a time of Simcha, of Nisim. The whole month is months of Nisim. Shanasali saw in Nisim, the Purim, the Pesach. It's a month of Nisim and Marbi Besimcha. So where's the Simcha? No, I'm Besimcha. But I have to remind myself that Simcha can flow away, run in 1 second if we don't do tshuva. All comes from tshuva, that we fasted, we did tshuva, we held us these great gifts. That can fly away in 1 second if you don't do it. It's a reminder. It's a tiny zikoy, lahaskir. Remain in the world, what do we do? This is when the Mishnah Berurah brings down. Mishnah Berurah brings down in Ilchois Megillah. It says, he say like this. He says, Mis'ani b'yugimel ba'odom. He says, and Yud Gimel ba'odom b'neuchal Esther, they had a war to kill the Jewish people, not to stand for themselves. They needed to request mercy, begging, Hashem shall help them, to revenge the enemies. We know that when you fight a war, you fast. Like we see Moshe Rabbeinu, the rabbis teach us, the day he fought the Amalek, he was fasting. Savada and Mordechai were fasting. The Lochei Nagu, therefore, the custom is this Ananivodo, Kedei Lisko, in order to remember. Hashem is Hashem hears, sees, and he hears. Every man in his time of his sorrow, when he fasted and he comes back to Hashem, like in those days. It's a reminder that can happen to us. What mean this reminder? That this happiness will continue. Good, good, good. Good because you're in a position that you did tshuva 18 years. But then very few days. Forgetting about Hashem. When you get Vayishman Yeshurun Uvad. Yeshurun becomes fat. Shamanta Vita Kasita. You become fat. What happens? Vayishman Yeshurun. Yeshurun became fat. Vayivad, he gave a kick. Very quick. A person forget he gave a kick. Gives a kick. Because the nature of the body is to prove itself. But you have to have a reminder. So in the midst of this amazing days, and right before this tonight, when we read the Megillah and dancing and singing and drinking, and the great happiness, we'll stop for a second. Remember, all these great gifts comes, Hashem remove those tzoros because we fast, we did tshuva. And don't remember, when you have your tzora, you do tshuva, Hashem will give you. Keep on tshuva. Make sure that that's what you're in position. It's a reminder. When we walk into a person's house, there's a reminder. It's tefach al tefach. It means one hand breast on the hand breast that they don't plaster. You know that? Every home, every Jewish home, they have a reminder. It's called Zeichel HaMikdash. They have one Amma on one Amma. I asked Rav Nivensal, do I need every room in the yeshiva to put a reminder? There's enough one for all. So first of all, a lot of the rooms, there's no plaster, just walls. And the roof is plaster, but there's no walls. Walls are stones. So waiting to put. But rooms that you have plaster, you have to remove alama. It's enough one for all, or every room needs. Tell me once for all, in the entrance. I did one. But Lemaise, it's a reminder. Remember, we always have a reminder. Last night, I went to a wedding, and someone came and says, listen, you see this wedding? It's all children and children of your father, bless his memory, of Tiga. He said, but you should know, I'm a fruit of your father. My wife is a fruit of your father, your mother, and my children and my grandchildren. But I have a big picture in the entrance of my house. And you know I have this big picture in my house of your father to remember where this cow all came from. That's what he told me. Tiga told me this. But I chopped it. That's really that's the fast of tiny sister. That's what the Ramos is not choiva. Pregnant women, if you're dangerous, it's not, you don't fast. If there's any danger a little bit, you don't fast. You have to mashlim later on, but we don't makpid on this fast so much. Why? Because it's not a fast of mourning. It's a fast of a reminder to remind yourself, to remind the Jewish people that when you have problems, you thank you would come to Hashem, Hashem removes your tzara. So the fact is those months of days of Nisim, because we did tshuva, we fasted, Hashem heard our prayers and our tshuva, and He gave us the good things. So it's a reminder. Chag Sameach. Rabbi Hanania ben Akashi oimer. עיר בו הם טוענים את שנאמר, ללכו בצמם ציקון טוב ידיר. כדי להזכנן שמי רבו, לא בוא דברו פירושי ויעמית מבוסי, היי כל נגוי בכל וכנבו בית יצבוי. אדונו בזמן קוראים יראו אומר.
Amen. Hey, Shmei Rabbo Meferach Ulam Mayor.
וישתמח ויספואר ויסמם ויסנסי. יסעדו ויסעלה ויסעלו. וידקו לשום ריחו.
Riku.
אמירון בולמות ורומי.
Amen.
ועל כל בנוסקים מאורש וזגני שועדי וחזר ועשר. אלו כל שומרה בוכים וקיס טוב רחמים. חי נעים יוזי לרדיק ופו כל נמיק ונשמע מהרומי ורומי.
Amen. 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 Rabbi Yitzhak, I sent an email to Binyamin of a daf of Musar for Purim.
Okay. Yes, I printed. Able to see. It's the print for people to see.
Okay, yeah, I hope they get it printed.
Those things, I think I'd be yummy.
It's very simple.
Es hat Dorim Asher Yual, Chois Shunim Asher Shvato, V'Echol. Chois Dorim Asher Yual, Sinai, V'Nitzam Dorim, Shom Al Shom, V'ish Lo Yalim Bo, V'Gam Ish Alim Bo, Gam Hatzei Gam V'Alimu, El Mu Lo Ha'u.
Hombre.
כי ברור שמיים מאורץ, גובו דרכי מדרכיכם, מחשבו סי, מחשבו יסכם, אשר הגשם והשלג מן השמיים, שובו ושוב, כי מבוא סורת, כל ידוג יצמיחו, ונוסף זרע זורע, ולבן ולא יתן, כן יהיה דבורי אשר יצא מפי. לא ישוב עלי לתום, כי מוסר אשר חפצתי, והצליח אשר שלחתי, כי בשמחות תצאו, ובשלום תבואו להרים והגויס, יפרצו לפניכם לנום, כל עצי השדה ימחאו חום. תחת על הציבור. תחת על הציבור. תחת על הציבור שיעלה ברוי. בתחת ספרה יעלה הבס, בו יועל נוי לשם, לא יסלום, לא יקורס, כל יומר נוי, שימו משפוד, עשו צדוקו, כי קרובו, ישרוסי לו בוי, וצדקוסי ליגולוי, אשר נוי תעשת זוי, ספודו, יחזיק בו, שומר שבות בחל אלוהים, ושומר יודוי, נעשוס קרוב, ויאמר בן הדחום, אני גוי לנוי למור עבדי, יבדיני נני, אני נוי נעל המוי, ויאמר הסוריס, אין אני עץ יובש, כי אוי, אומר נוי, לעשות, סיבה שישמעו שבצוסי, ובחרו באשר חפצתי, ומחזיקים במניסי, ונוסעתי לו בביסי, וחומסי עוד בשם, תוי מבוני, תוי מבונים ובונויס, שבולוי בית אלוהי, אשר לא יקוראי, והלכו. אני מבין, אני נוי לשוסוי, ולעבור אל שבע נוי, יויסלוי לעבודים, כל שומר שבוז, מחל אלוהי, ומחזיקים בבריסים, ויועסים אל הקודשים, בשמחתי מבייס תפילוסי, או לא יסיים בזבחיהם ורוצו אינם מזבחי, כי בסיבס תפילו יקורא לכל העמים, נו בנו אלוהים, מקבץ יתכי ישראל, אוי, הקבץ עולום, לנקבוצוב. ברוך אתה אלוהינו אלוהים סופרמים, צדיק בכל הגויים, אוי לאמור, אוי עושה עבודו כאישור טוב וסוצרת. בכל התוארים נמצאים בו ובכל ובכל ובכל, יהיה מלך ויבוא כמו תורתנו.
Cadê? Cadê? Amém. פלטיניום.
אין לזה.
צריך לבוא, מה שאמרת זה רמה, מה שאמרת זה רמה מפורסם שכל מי אמר, מפורסם וחוסר. לא, אבל הרמב"ם אומר שזה, מה הוורד הזה? הוורד זה, רמב"ם זה הכי בשביל, רמב"ם זה הכי בשביל, אומר זה מראה, זה הוורד, זה הכל מדייקים לי. רמב"ם זה,
בוא נגיד, לא, פסק, זה אני שמתי. לא, השאלה היא אנשים. דורשים ביום וחשבון.
Yeah, iced coffee, so I can stay up all night. Do it when you do iced coffee, you do iced coffee. Or get coffee, you do coffee, you put liquor in it. This, when we do coffee, we do. We do the normal coffee thing, we put vodka in it, we do like a morning like Irish coffee. Ooh, Irish coffee. Irish coffee slushy. An Irish coffee slushy, you do like a normal coffee slushy, but then you put vodka or something in there.
אני בצרה גדולה. אפשר לסמוך עליי. ויש פה שור, זה המגילה, זה כאילו, המגילה שגם, אתה אמרת שעצום, אתה לא אמרתי, זה המגילה וזה עצום. מה? מה? זה... טוב, זה המגילה. אני מסכים, זה המגילה. תעבור זה גם בצום. מתי היה הצהרה? המלחמה זה הצהרה. המגילה זה... חבר הכל שם? כן. לסיפור שם, למשל. אבל סמכו על התרא, זבו, נודיע לדור הסבוי שאמס מה שתתראה, מה שסמוך על התרא זה אמס, אפשר לסמוך על זה, מי שומע לתשובה זה, בדיוק, בצד של צרות אפשר לסמוך על זה. הברכה שקדוש ברוך הוא נתן לשניים, בטוח.
Yeah, I know. Some people break it out.
הוא בסדר, משתדל להימנף. יש לך מי שאומר שמשלח מונו זה גם אני מנסה אמר גם יום שישי וגם בצריך הדריות גם. ככה אמר אני מנסה זאבי, מה מנסה אמר לך הדריות הזה כל יום?
כן, הוא אמר הדריות הזה כל יום.
כל יום. זה שמה
גם בלילה.
גם בלילה, כל יום.
גם צריך לעשות תפילה.
פה כתוב, שאמר שצריך משלוח מונויס, גם ביום שישי וגם ביום ראשון, וכתוב בו שם אשתו ביום ראשון.
בשבת יש לך
כל קצת.
ראינו את הפריחות הזה שאומר גם לעשות בשבת.
ראינו בשבת.
גם בשבת.
גם בשבת לעשות.
סעודה סעודה זה שעה, ביום ראשון וגם משלוח מונוס. זה מה זה הכל, יש את החזון ביום שישי,
עושים הכל יום.
יש בשעה שצריך לעשות גם סעודה. משלוח מונוס זה לא מזוג.
אני רציתי לשאול אותו על ההדלויות עד יום שישי.
מערל חביב יראי לו חלב שלנו סוגים ודאי שלא היא בשבס. וזה מה זה בירושלים, וגם משלוח מונוס בשבת. קיצור, זה כל הימים. תהיה חזוני, משלוח מונוס ביום ראשון, ביום שישי. תהיה מערל חביב, הרב"ס, משלוח מונוס בשבס.
כן, ומילה יום ראשון גם.
בשבת, יצאו לזכות בשבת.
לא, אז
הרב"ס שלנו זה ביום ראשון.
יום שישי בשביל שתהיה בשבת.
זה ביום שישי.
אני עכשיו נוסע לקרוזים.
כן, הוא גם כן דס, המוגן אברום. יש לך בעיה, אם אתה נוסע ליום שישי הזה לפרקים,
לא, אני מחר בבוקר.
אתה לא תהיה מוכן.
אני פה מחר בבוקר בישיבה.
אתה זה בבוקר.
לפעמים אני לא הייתי שוחד.
אתה לא אז אתה חייב. ואם אתה תהיה שם,
אני רק
הלילה
רוצה-
בבוקר תהיה שם,
יכול להיות אני רוצה
אתה
להגיע גם
מפסיד את
סדר
הפורים
ערב,
פה.
אני פשוט
אתה
משקיע.
מפסיד בגבול.
אני רוצה גם להגיע פה לזה בסדר בברום, אבל אני פשוט רוצה לעזור להורים שלי עם כמה דברים וגם לפני פורים.
אם אתה רוצה לפני אלוהים שתשך לעבוד,
לא, זה
חייב
טוב.
לשם. לא כמו רגיל, לא כמו
אני
שמרגיל.
יודע, זהו.
שעיקר זה ביום שישי.
דבי, יש לך פה דוד. זה בית שני.
זה
של ישראל. אח של ישראל.